Mr. Dash Mihok, how you doing, sir?
How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Wanted to start by saying I've been a massive fan for a long time, probably around 96 with Romeo and Juliet. I know it's probably maybe a film you don't really necessarily talk about all that much, but I wanted to say in a former life before I started this whole entertainment journalism thing, I tortured teenagers with Shakespeare as a high school English teacher. And I used to say, your delivery was up there with Branagh, with Olivier. You had that one, oh, I'm serious, because you had that one great line, I pray thee good Mercutio,
Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot. The capitals are abroad.
And if we meet, we shall not escape a brawl. For now, these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Do you remember that at all?
I remember all of it, of
Yeah.
course. Good morrow, cousin. Day so young, I'm a noon's truck, cuz. But I don't know if I up with Brand. I mean, it really depends on what you like. I think it's fitting for the time. But when we have more than 10 minutes, I'll tell you a long story about. I'm actually married to, if you're a real fan, and B, I love that English teachers always come up to me and say, "Thank you for that," because it warms my heart, and as I think I would be a teacher if I wasn't an actor. But if you remember the gas station scene. I remember that there was this group of schoolgirls that were walking through, Catholic schoolgirls.
Yeah.
They zoom in on one that ended up being my wife.
I think
11 years later, she found me on MySpace.
yeah, it's amazing because I think I just saw you had an Instagram post about that,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, recently, and I couldn't believe it coincided. So I guess yeah, there it is.
yeah. That
That's
that life was interesting,
yeah,
but it. Yeah.
absolutely love it. Speaking of decades ago, you and
Yeah.
Mr. Jason Patrick were both in Sleepers,
Keepers.
and so Armor seems like a great kind of little reunion. Did you guys get a chance to talk when you were creating Sleepers? Did you keep in touch at all?
I cannot say that. No, we didn't. I don't think we even worked together on Sleepers. I mean, Barry was, Levinson was great, but most of our stuff was based in Connecticut in the correction facility, and so I didn't really work with Jason then. But we did get to talk on this a little bit, and giggle that we were in a movie together. But no, I hadn't really. Crossed paths with him much. But he's great, and he's great in this movie.
He is very, yeah. I mean, the whole cast is great in this film, I think. I know that one friend that you've kept in touch with, or at least you guys still follow each other on social media, is Mr. Harold Perrineau.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Great guy. I've had the opportunity to speak to him a couple times because of his work in From recently, which is
Oh
brilliant.
yeah.
Yeah, such a great job. Have you had a chance to watch that?
I have. I will be honest with you, Mike. When I'm not taking care of my kids, or my wife watches stuff, but I'm usually focused on trying to make things rather than watch them, and I need to. But I did run into Harold actually at the grocery store. I mean, we talked to each other a bunch, but he moved nearby, and I saw him, and yeah, it's like it's the same. Leo and Harold were for 30 years. So it's really it was a beautiful experience. I saw Baz the other night too, and it was a great family, and we were so young, but it's rare that you get to hold those friendships for this long.
That's fantastic. When he and I spoke about his Mercutio, he was talking about, being on a Baz Luhrmann film and how he said, quote unquote, it's all out there, baby. Speaking with, speaking with you and seeing a bunch of the public posts that you've created as well. You seem like a soft-spoken guy, maybe more akin to your work as Bunchy, maybe a guy who's not necessarily putting his voice out there, but feels a responsibility to do so. So I'm curious, do you relish a role like that, or do you relish a role kind of like Smoke in Armor, where you can do what Harold says and put it all out there?
I, Mike, I know this would sound like a cliche, but I really like all of it, on any given day. I said to somebody the other day, I was like, I've done two like or three independent rom-coms where I'm the lead, and like that's great. I love, of course, playing baddies. I love playing Benvolio. Smoke to me was, I get to be Sly's cohort and sort of on par with him, and it felt like that on set as well because we were kind of the now that I'm a little bit of an older cat, more of the veteran crowd, so we worked well together and on a quick basis. And but I really don't. If the role's good, like I like to do everything. I want, I honestly, I want to, I would love to, if anything, play Elizabethan England. Vinnie Jones keeps going, you gotta come and do some stuff here. And I'm like, well, give me a bell because I can do the accent. That would be fun. I'm really open to all of it. That's the truth.
Perfect segue to my next question because you celebrated a milestone birthday. Congratulations on that. Um, hey, listen, that I won't say the number out loud, but that number
Okay,
is
50.
yeah, okay, good man, good man. I was gonna say 50 is the new 40, you got nothing to be ashamed of. But more importantly, kind of like you said, you love creating. You definitely seem like a man who shows no signs of slowing down. And here you were, shoulder to shoulder with Stallone. I'm going to name drop again, another guy I was lucky enough to talk to last year because of his work with Tulsa King. And he talk about a guy who shows no signs of slowing down. So, what did you learn, standing next to Stallone, both on and off screen?
I learned that if I make it to his age and I'm still doing it, that I would do it much the way he does. And that he loves to act, but my favorite, I'm very technical and everything, and he's very technical, and it's just fun and to do stuff and bounce stuff off each other quickly, especially on a shoot where you really have to rock and roll. And I learned that doesn't matter how old you are, you still got it, and you're always going to bring your expertise, and no matter what everybody's doing around you or how they feel about you, because you're slow, it's about getting the shots that we need that are going to be edited and what's going to cut, and that aspect is you just if I get to be his age, I mean, I will, but I'll definitely be doing that in some sort of fashion. And he's a writer, he has that writer's brain, and so I just hope I keep doing it. I know I can't not, to be honest. It'll be hard to get me to retire.
I'm glad to hear that. Um, Armor is very much in the vein of classic heist films, and what I really liked about it, it kind of reminded me of Heat in a lot of ways, how there's a code of honor,
Yeah.
within a lot of the characters. So, did Justin Routt, speak to you guys about any influences he was going for, either with your character or with the film in general?
I think it was just sort of implied, like when you like I had sort of been in contact with Sly before, and not to a great extent, but I think we everybody knew what we were going to bring. I think that I wasn't quite sure about some of the younger guys but at least Sly and I knew we were going to anchor it, and Jason and Josh knew that they were going to anchor that part, and I loved everybody. I thought everybody was terrific, but it was more of a feeling of like we're gonna get there and we're gonna figure out the dynamics and the diameter and the circle, and working with Kale at DP, and it was more that than we didn't delve into too much. I know that Sly and I both really were interested in trying to in such a quick fashion in a heist movie, establishing this underlying, relationship that we had. And that probably was the hardest part because you're there going like, oh, I got this one line to say, this one thing that's going to give heat or backstory, right? And it's tough in an edit, but we were always looking for it. So, You were just prepared, I think. But it's such a it's a fast heist movie. But if you can get a nugget that you want to go like, what went on with that relationship and get people thinking, then we did our job.
Well, Dash, thank you so much for your time, my man. This was fantastic talking to you because, like I said, been a fan for almost 30 years at this point. So appreciate it. Keep creating, my friend, and best of luck with the film. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you, and I hope we do it again, man.
Hey, Real students, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe to Real School, click that round Real School logo right beside me. Also, click that damn notification bell so you're aware of all of Real School's new content. You can follow me on Twitter, and of course, if you get anything out of Real School, you can always give a little back. Just click the link in the description below or the button down there, and you can become part of my Patreon team.